This video is going to talk specifically about parenting kids so they become more resilient. Okay. So, included in that is raising kids with higher self esteem. And high self esteem is a very, very valuable asset for kids to have, especially as they're growing older and especially going to help you as you grow into adulthood. But resiliency and high self esteem, they just go together. It's just like higher self esteem where the kids see themselves as worthy or valuable or strong or whatever is a natural byproduct of having kids who are just more resilient. I did a video a while back, fairly recently, about this big, big growing problem that we have with fragile children, where we treat kids like they're fragile. And as they're growing up, they appear to have special needs. And instead of looking at why this kid is not resilient and why this kid has special needs, we're just blaming the kid and just saying, "Oh, the kid has problems," and nothing else to see here. Rather than, this kid is a direct product of a certain type of parenting. The video that I did about this topic about fragile children, it's one of my better performing videos that I've actually had in a while. And I'm really actually pretty stoked to see that because this is a big problem. It's a really, really big issue where we're seeing these kids who they're fragile. We keep lowering the bar for them because we treat them like they're incapable. And does that mean that they do better? No, that means that we lower the bar and then the kids lower to meet the bar. We lower the bar again and what we're seeing are kids who are not functioning, not doing well. They're mentally unwell. They're not resilient. They have low self esteem. They have low self worth, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. To me, the opposite of resilient is fragile. And so, again, really glad to see that my video on fragile kids did better than most of my videos typically, because to me, it has become such an important topic and something I'm becoming more and more alarmed about. It's not just a phenomenon that I see within the high conflict custody situations. I'm seeing it across the board. But again, the alarming part is the people who are causing the kids to be fragile and supporting this fragility and not doing anything to help the kids become more resilient are now unfortunately being seen as the good parents or the parents that are doing it well are doing it right. And it's frankly disturbing and troubling. And it's worth mentioning again, unfortunately, sadly, there are way too many therapists that are supporting this still, this fragile child thing. And instead of helping the kids overcome their challenges or learn how to work through their challenges, they support this BS destructive idea. Oh, just remove hard things. Don't make them do hard things. That is absurdly bad advice. Absurdly bad. Again, it's frankly alarming and very troubling for me as a clinician to see this trend, to just see this crop of kids coming up in the world who just completely lack resiliency. And so, one of the areas that I specialize in is parenting. And I specifically really believe in resiliency. I believe in resiliency style of parenting. And I have really built a lot of my material, my content around resiliency parenting, helping your kids be more resilient. And there's a lot of factors involved in that. Frankly, parent coaching is one of my absolute favorite things to do. I love working with open minded, willing parents who realize that something needs to change, something needs to be done, and are actively seeking advice on how to help build their kids to be much more resilient. Because frankly, it's the parent's job to help the kids become more prepared for the life and the world in front of them. And unfortunately, these kids that are coming up are woefully, and I mean woefully, um, behind and unprepared for the life ahead of them. The good news is that kids actually are resilient. They can learn, they can grow, they can change rapidly. They can learn new skills, they can adjust very, very rapidly. They can create new habits, and frankly, they can just become stronger and better in so many ways if you know what to do and if you know how to play your cards right. So there's a lot to my resilient parenting coaching. There's a lot to my resilient parenting program. It comes at the whole situation from many, many angles. But the first and most important factor to raising resilient kids is creating a very strong, positive, and close relationship with your kids. Okay. The stronger your relationship is with them, the more likely they are to become more resilient. Okay. So first of all, if you have a really good close relationship to them, they are going to have improved self-esteem. They're going to feel better about themselves. If they always feel like they're clamoring for your approval or to be good enough in your eyes, it's going to really diminish their self-esteem. Okay, so you need to work on improving your relationship with your kids. Now, I've had a lot of parents over the years. They've told me that they say that the relationship isn't important. My kids can still grow up to be really good kids, even if they don't have a good relationship with me. And I just frankly disagree. I entirely disagree. Why wouldn't you want a better relationship with your kids? For some reason, parents think I'm going to help my kids be better if I'm the bad guy in their life or some sort of villain in their life. False. That is flagrantly false. If you have that idea, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You will have a much, much, much greater degree of influence and ability to help them change and grow and learn and bounce back if you have a positive relationship with them. So I have a whole framework on here are the elements of a good relationship. Okay. And from there, the rest becomes easier for the most part, but there are just simple things that you can do too. Like your kids need to be challenged. They need to do hard things. They need to face their anxieties. They need to do all sorts of things. I saw a brief video this morning. Research indicates, apparently, and I'm frankly not surprised, kids who do chores and are expected to do chores and participate actively in the household chores on a consistent basis, they grow up to do better in many regards. It improves their confidence, it improves their self-esteem, it improves their work ethic, makes them more resilient. Again, there are so many things that can contribute to turning this ship around. Okay, and your relationship, which includes really good dialogue, being able to communicate with them properly, talk to them properly, and frankly, cutting through the drama and getting to the core truth of things, I find to be really super duper valuable. Anyways, it's impossible for me to lay out an entire program of resiliency parenting in just like a 10-minute, less than 10-minute YouTube video, and it's frankly much easier to coach people through it. As you know, week by week, I've helped parents troubleshoot how to address certain situations, give them a attitude adjustment, give them a proper perspective. And what I have found is that when the parent, first of all, your first job is to take personal responsibility and personal accountability. Okay, these two things are going to work massively in your favor in regards to your child's relationship. Your dialogue can start with something like this: Hey, I realize that the way that I have gone about my parenting may have not been the best plan. I'm learning as I'm going. I thought that this would help you. Frankly, I was wrong, and I apologize. So I'm determined to do better. When you take that type of responsibility and accountability and apologize for your mistakes, kids are going to respect you more. Okay. And it just really kind of starts with there. You focus on building a positive relationship, and so many things become easier from there. So if you are interested in engaging in my resiliency parenting program, feel free to reach out. Again, this is some of my absolute favorite work to do. It's just something that I just love. I love seeing kids turn it around. I love seeing kids come around. I love seeing the relationship build. And I mean, frankly, the world that your kids are up against, even if they're just a few steps ahead of all the other kids, they're gonna kill it in this world because the bar is set so low. Public school has set the bar really low, and then the public school continues to lower the bar. And you want your kids to, if you do what everybody else is doing, you're going to have kids who are anxious, who are afraid, who are paralyzed, who have low self-esteem, low self-worth, and are just overall fragile. So, anyways, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new here, my name is Scott. I am a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. A lot of my work currently is kind of like shifting a little bit more into a little bit more of the coaching realm. Personally, I believe therapy is a dying industry. I'm not going to get into that in this video. Don't forget to subscribe here if you have not already. Um, Share it, like it, comment. You know what to do. Helps me out. Help me grow my channel. And we will see you next time.